So, what we are talking about today is punctuating dialogue. And so, what I noticed when going through your writing is that um, we need a little refresher on how to properly punctuate our dialogue. So, dialogue is when there are people talking, and we use quotation marks to indicate when people are talking. So, I see a lot of this where it says Sarah and her mom walked into the vet. Her mom said, "We're here to pick up Sadie." "Here she is," said the vet. "Thank you," said my mom. So, all in one paragraph. What we need to do is we need to split them up and make an indent, make a new paragraph and indent every time a new person starts talking. So that's our number one rule. If a new person begins talking, we have to make a new paragraph and we have to indent our paragraph. So here, Sarah and her mom walked into the vet. Her mom said, "We're here to pick up Sadie." So here, a new person starts talking. And so we want to start a new paragraph and indent. "Here she is," said the vet. And then again, a new person is talking. So we add a new paragraph and indent. "Thank you," said my mom. We walked out of the vet and back to our car. So that is the proper way to, add um, paragraphs and indentations in our dialogue. So when we are adding periods, commas, question marks, exclamation points, we always want to put the punctuation mark inside the parentheses. So here, the punctuation mark is outside the parentheses. That is a no-no. We want the punctuation mark to be inside the parentheses. So our rule for that, and I call that rule 2A, is if the quote ends the sentence, then a period, question mark, or exclamation point goes inside of the quotation marks. So sometimes we have a quote and then words that come after the quote. So the quote doesn't end the sentence. The quote begins the sentence, or it might be in the middle of the sentence. And so when that happens, when we go from quote back to text in the same sentence, we need to put a comma or a question mark or a exclamation point. Again, inside of our quotation mark. So rule 2B is if the quote begins the sentence, we need a comma, question mark, or exclamation point inside of the quotation marks. So rule 2A and 2B are very similar. It's just if the quote ends the sentence, the end mark, it can't be a comma. If it, is in the middle or starts the sentence, we need a comma or exclamation point or question mark. When we have text and then a quote, we need to add a comma to separate the text from the quote. So this is missing the comma, so that's incorrect. This one, her mom said, comma, "We're here to pick up Sadie." And again, we've got our punctuation inside of our quotation marks. So our rule number 3 is to separate the words that come before the quotation with a comma. And we should also have our quotation start with a capital letter. So here, we've got the incorrect with this missing a comma and lowercase, and here we've got the correct version with the comma and the uppercase letter. So to sum it all up, Our rule number 1 was if a new person begins talking in dialogue, make a new paragraph and make sure to indent your paragraphs. If a quote ends a sentence or if it starts a sentence, the punctuation goes inside the quotation marks. And then rule number 3, separate the words that come before the quotation with a comma and start the quotation with a capital letter. So those are our 3 rules of punctuating dialogue. Now you are going to go on to answer some questions on a Google form about punctuating dialogue. I would recommend having the slides presentation open in split screen so that you can reference this slide while you are doing the work. And I did link the slides presentation in with the Google form. It's also, you can find it if you click on the notes icon on the remote English slides. So leave a private comment if you have any questions. And don't forget about your vocabulary Google form as well. All right, bye.